Does it say we're recording?
Well, it didn't tell me that we're recording anywhere.
It tells me to.
Oh, Seth is recording the call. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
It also now, when you hit record, it says you better tell somebody for legal purposes.
Oh, well, geez, okay.
So
It's good digital citizenship, I guess.
I'm recording it. Don't do anything silly.
I never would do that.
Hello, world. Welcome to another PonderCast with a good friend, Kyle Kline. How you doing, Kyle?
Hey, I'm doing awesome.
Kyle, where are you from and what are you doing these days?
So I live in West Lafayette, home to the greatest university in Indiana. As you might know, Oiler up. So, and currently I work in Delphi Community Schools, where I'm a K-12 math curriculum and technology integration specialist. So basically a long title for a fancy way of saying math coach and tech coach.
There we go. Okay, cool. And like 6 years ago, I got to meet you down in Indianapolis doing the Indiana Migrant Education Program. 6 years ago. We've been best friends for 6 years.
Oh my gosh, can you believe it? This is crazy.
Oh, time flies.
Yep.
So let's throw some questions at you real quick,
Okay.
just to kind of loosen the mood, because you and I are both very serious people.
Yes, exactly.
So, number one, what's your favorite college?
I would definitely say I have two, actually. They're kind of tied. So the University of Phoenix Online and Purdue University.
Boiler up. All right. Who's your favorite basketball player?
Oh, gosh. Does it matter if it's like pros or college or like of all time?
Yeah, let's go anyone.
Okay, so of all time, it's got to be Larry Bird. Currently, yeah, my other favorite is Carson Edwards because, he's like, we're about the same height, same build, same skills. And so, like, people get us confused sometimes. So I like that guy.
Yeah. I mean, he's like your twin. So,
yeah, separated birth, definitely.
And Larry Legend and C Boogie are both from the Celtics now. So,
right? Exactly.
Indiana, then to Boston. Perfect. All right. Who is your favorite football player of all time?
Aside from Uncle Rico and Ray Finkel, I'd probably have to say Peyton Manning. He's hilarious. He's such a funny guy.
Yeah. He is so funny, but he's no Drew Brees.
He's no Drew Brees, but, I mean, I've been a Colts fan for a long time, and I do love Drew Brees. So he's my favorite current NFL player, but I got to say Peyton's probably my favorite of all time.
What about your favorite golfer? You and I were just cranking it at Topgolf a couple weeks ago. Who's your favorite golfer?
Oh, my gosh. We were throwing darts at the flags and hitting missiles off the drivers. So I can't believe they didn't have us come back for like a competition, maybe.
I'm kind of surprised the PGA didn't call.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I would got to say, Tiger, he's been my favorite for a long time. There's a lot of good pros right now that I like. I like Brooks Koepka, Dustin Johnson, Jordan Spieth. I like all those guys. Anybody that plays for the U.S. because next year in 2020, I'm going to Whistling Straits for the Ryder Cup.
So you scored some tickets?
I scored some tickets. I'm pretty excited.
Good job.
So USA. It's going to be awesome.
All right. And the last just quick question is, what's your favorite app you're using these days?
My favorite app still is, I'd call it GIF. It's GIF, JIF. I pronounce it like the peanut butter because that's what the creator of it came up with. Some people are like, well, like, no, it's not with a J, it's GIF. And I'm like, well, you know what? Whenever I go to the zoo, I don't see a lot of giraffes jumping around. So I'm like, it's a hard G. So it's definitely GIF. So it's only for iOS. Best $6 I've ever spent.
Kind of mentioned you and I hung out at the ICE conference. Then you were just at the HEC conference.
Correct.
I mean, what else? Do you have any other conferences coming up? Or you?
I really got to look for one now, I think. So, although they probably are ready for me back at work.
I mean, I think you should probably work a full month. Like,
I'm planning on doing that in December. I did do it in September, and August. So, it just happens at the ICE conference and the head conference. This year they're separated by 3 weeks. Usually it's 4 weeks, and so, but they're the two best conferences in Indiana for anything education technology related. So, in my field, it's going to be up to date on new things, learn from other teachers, and did some presentations myself. But I just love the camaraderie. I love seeing people from all around the state that we kind of converge on Indianapolis for 3 days and just share ideas and have an awesome time.
And now the holidays are coming up, but more importantly in Indiana, the snow is coming, and we've got some e-learning days coming up.
We have snow coming.
We're on a weather watch right now as we are recording.
Winter weather advisory also, like 2 to 4 inches tomorrow.
So you're going to show us some Desmos stuff, right?
Sure.
All right. Why is Desmos important? What should we know about it?
Okay, so it actually started in 2011 as just an online graphing calculator. And so it was kind of the brainchild of a few different people that kind of, having a graphing calculator for your classes, they're $125 devices. And so trying to make it more equitable and accessible for students all around, they wanted kids to be able to use just a web browser for a graphing calculator. So 2011, they first created this. So what they've done since then is in 2015, they've created this wonderful resource called the Activity Builder, where there are some pre-built lessons, and there's also words where you can create your own as well. So it's just one of those websites that if you really want to get student engagement for math, if you really want to get some mathematical discourse going in your classes, then you really need to look into Desmos, because it's definitely a game changer.
I mean, graphing calculators are brought in at the high school level. Can this also be used at younger grades?
Yes. In fact, it has a 4-function calculator and a scientific calculator that this DOE started using for the iLearn last year. So I know in our middle school, I think it's 7th and 8th grade, have the scientific calculator on the iLearn. So we have our teachers put the website on Google Classroom, so kids use that in class. And then 6th grade, they only need the 4-function calculator. So I think our teacher puts both the 4-function calculator and the scientific calculator on there, so students get experience with both of those.
And you want to show us some of these activities that they have?
Sure. So I have a few of my favorites. One of them is Lego prices. There's another one called BattleBots, and then there's one that I created myself that I really like also. That's just kind of fun because I threw some GIFs into it. So, but I'm going to go with the Lego prices one first. Teachers would just need to head to teacher.desmos.com. And then here they can either sign in. I'm signed in with my Google account. So this way I can save stuff into collections so I can reference them later. But if I go here to the search button and I look up Lego prices, I can go to this one. And basically what some of these activities start off with is they give you a little introduction here about what's going to go on. You create a class code for your class. So here I already have one, but it's inactive because it's back in 2017, but I've used it since then. So, but if I create a class code, then the teacher or then the students go to student.desmos.com and they can just click on, or they can go there and then they have this code that they're going to type in. So it should pop up here in a moment. Maybe.
You want to share a screen or?
Oh yeah, that would be funny, right? Wouldn't that be nice if I actually did that?
I mean, some people listen to this, but we also have this on YouTube, so that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be a little bit easier. How about that? Does that look? Oh wait, I gotta hit the start sharing button. There we go. All right, how's it look now?
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so here's what we do. So kids go to student.desmos.com. They type in this link or these code right here, and then all of the names are going to start populating over here on the left. And so the teacher will be able to see them pulling in, and if they have a Google account, then they can sign into the Google account, so that way the teacher can kind of keep track of what they're doing. We have a teacher dashboard here. You can go through as each students are answering the questions. You can see what on your board. You can see how the students are responding. You can also make it so kids can see 3 other students' answers. So they have to answer their question first. So they also get to do a little work with their neighbors and see how other people are answering, which is pretty neat. One of my favorite parts is a teacher pacing. So if I click on the pacing guide, I can have it so they only do, restrict to the first 3 screens. So they can only see the first 3 activities. So as a student, I can also pause. I love pausing it right when the kids are real quietly working. I'll pause it and their screens go kind of blank. It says teacher pause activity. And they're like, what? Oh, come on. And so I like doing that as well. But I'm going to show you kind of what this looks like. So here is what it starts off with. A lot of these activities they're called a low floor, high ceiling task. So they usually start with a question that a student, regardless of their ability, can have an entry point into this activity. So in this case, we're talking about Star Wars, one of my favorite movies of franchises of all time. Here we start off with like a small jet here, or a flying apparatus. I can't think of what it's called. But the small one was bought for $5.49, and the kids had to figure out how much more the big one is. So they kind of just have a little guess in here. So then the next screen, what they will have is they have to sketch what they think would happen as the number of pieces go up, what they think would happen with the price. So you get a little sketch there. The overlay is neat because you get to put all the kids' answers all on the same graph.
Oh, cool.
It's great for the teachers so they can see any kind of misconceptions, have conversations. After they do that, then the students, they start building a model here. And then they use their model to predict, then answer some other questions. And at the very end, they actually get to see the final piece here, where it shows how much the final piece would. I think it's, let's see how many, I'm trying to remember how many pieces there are. It's probably because I haven't answered it. There's a lot of non-answers on here. Just for you, Seth, how much do you think this big one would be? It has 1,005 pieces, I believe.
I think, or I've heard maybe it's like $450.
All right, so we could do this. We could play it out the whole time. I also like to pause it and have the kids write these down as ordered pairs. So they have to make a table, and then they also have to make like a new prediction based on this as we go through here. And they're like, "Oh, can't we just see the reveal?" And I'm like, "Nope, we gotta pause it. You gotta get some more points down because I want them to know which one's which, X or Y here." And so then here at the very end, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Okay, you were a little bit off.
I was a little off, yeah, a lot off.
But that's still pretty expensive. But it's a cool activity where the kids really get into it. They really get into that activity. There's another one called BattleBots where they get into unit rates, and the kids have to click their mouse just as fast as they can. They have to estimate how many clicks they think they can get within 10 seconds, and then 20 seconds, and they have to estimate how they think they could do in a minute. So the kids they're just like violently clicking on their trackpads when they're in class. So it's pretty hilarious. But it just engages the kids in like a totally different way than what a worksheet would. So
and I'm sure your tech department's like, I don't understand why we have so many Chromebooks that have trackpads broken, right?
Yeah, I take a little bit of credit for that maybe. So one of the last features is you can make your own. So if you go into custom, you can actually create your own, or you can take one that's already been made and you can make it your own with some adjustments if you want. So let's see, where's one of my favorites here? Math mistakes. So I like this one because it started off, it's kind of like a growth mindset type thing. And it has Zach Galifianakis from, a certain movie talking about, where he's thinking really hard and everything. And this is just a really short one, but then what the kids have to do is they have to go to the next one. They have to find if this equation was solved correctly or incorrectly. And then if they give an answer, so I'll say, no, it's not. Oh, gosh. Then they have to do the most dreaded thing in math, explain their thinking. You would think.
I'm in math. I don't have to write.
Right, I know. You'd think somebody like whizzed on their tacos or something like that. So, um, so then they have to find the error, then they have to correct it, and then at the very end, I have another GIF from another guy that I get confused with a lot out on the streets, Dwayne Johnson. So, at the end, he tells everybody it's going to be okay. It's okay if you make mistakes. So that's one of my favorite ones that I've made. It's just, they're fun. It's fun to customize and make your own activities on here.
Yeah, these are almost like, I did not know you could, it's almost like slides. Like you have separate slides.
Yes.
Incorporating this. I have not used Desmos in the longest time. This is a whole nother level. And you can, when you make yours, you can publish them so any teachers can use them, right?
Correct. So this one should be, like, if you go up here, you can change its privacy, or actually when you get done creating it, you can choose your privacy. You can change it later, I believe. But yeah, it's one of those tools that for math teachers, we can make math engaging and, by using technology, but the information you get back from the students when they basically have a no opt-out feature here, and you get to see all your kids' responses as you're going through an activity, and you can choose whether to put them up on the board. You can actually anonymize their names. So you don't have to be like, oh, hey, Billy, this is like a wonderful thing. And Billy's like, oh my gosh, what are they calling me? But, you can talk about, oh, hey, this is actually Sir Isaac Newton that had this great observation from this part of the problem. And so it just brings up a lot of great opportunities to discuss with the students as well. I love it. It's probably like, it's definitely one of my top twos. If I was to go back to the classroom, I'd be using it quite a bit.
And then do you use this for like e-learning days, or does your staff use it for e-learning days? Like you can push out an assignment and have them do it that way, right?
Yes, they do. So you can push that out to, you just give them the link through, or you can, do the code. So if I was actually to share this activity, then, or actually, so I'm sorry, if I create a class code, what I would do is I would just tell the students, okay, you need to go to student.desmos.com, and I would put that link in Google Classroom or Canvas, and then I would give them their code for their class. So period 1 would have QN6DBE they have to type in, and throughout the day I can check those responses. So yeah, and it's great because it kind of takes out, for e-learning, takes out the option of copying just like a standard worksheet. The students, I don't know, if I had e-learning, okay, I don't want to say that out loud. I'm going to put in the PonderCast, but if I was still in high school, because there's probably not a lot of high school kids that do this, I'd be like, hey, I got math, you do English, you do social studies, let's take a picture of our answers and just send it out, right? I mean, no kids ever thought of that.
No. I mean, they're not hitting the share button at all.
Not one bit, right?
Except to their teachers, I'm sure of that.
Yes, they are fully engaged. I'm 100% positive as well. So it kind of gets away from that also. It's really difficult. If you have kids that have the exact same answers throughout it, it's pretty easy to tell that they are not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Thank you for bringing me up to speed. Thank you for bringing us up to speed on Desmos. That is super cool. Just kind of as we wrap up here, I always like to end with, what is your definition of success?
Gosh, you should have preempted me with that question probably before we got on here, right?
Well, you were on a previous episode, but maybe I didn't ask you.
I don't think you did, because I don't think you think I'm that successful. So, yes, that was perfect timing. I was so hoping that was going to happen.
Yeah, all over the
That'd been great. Successful, I mean, gosh, there's so many different definitions of it. I think personally, feeling successful is a time when you can help somebody else to understand something that they previously thought they couldn't do. In our role as a tech coach or as a math coach, helping find new innovative ways to maybe teach a lesson or something like that, and then the teacher tries it out and they're like, wow, that went way better than I thought it was going to be. So I consider that a success. Success in golf is like shooting par or better, Top Golf was like hitting one over the net, maybe. Different things. But yes, I mean, there's so many different things with it. But I think this is going to sound really corny, but like if you feel really good about something after you did it, then I think you're going to feel successul.
That's awesome.
Put that on a poster somewhere.
That's right. That might be just the tagline for this episode.
I love it.
All right, man. If people want to get in contact with you, where can they find you?
The easiest way is on Twitter. So it's at Mr. Kline _edtech. You can also email me. Just send me something on Twitter. So yeah. I'm much better at Twitter. I love Twitter. That's the best place for PD and connections anyway.
Yeah. I'd much rather answer tweets than emails.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. So.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks so much for being on. And if you guys don't follow Kyle, make sure you follow him on Twitter. And thanks for watching.
Appreciate it, Seth.
Thanks for being on, Kyle.
All right. Sounds good. We'll see you.